Oh, and happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you so very much for tuning into 98.3 FM, The Life. You're listening to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness. And of course, I am your host, Marty Jalev. We come at you every single Monday at 7 o'clock to talk about your job, your career, your vision made clear, the skills that you hone for the business that you own, the ups and downs, the smiles and frowns, where you're at and where you're bound. If you miss any of today's episode, you can tune in later in this week when it's on the podcast, which is Bacon Bits with Master Happiness, anywhere you listen to podcasts. So as you know, I'm on a quest to always bring you the industry best. All right. And today I have another very, very special guest. This is a very smiley person. And, it's one of these things what's the word? I'm gravitated towards. I'm pulled towards. There's some kind of a force that pulls me towards people who have a genuine joy within them. All right. That's why I started my company, Master Happiness. To me, it's really important to find people who find joy in every part of life. And Victoria Katz, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's giving me the thumbs up. She's just one of those people. I have never seen her with anything less than an enormous smile. And it's a genuine smile. I'm going to share that with you. I don't even turn on your mic yet, so you can't even say anything. It's a genuine smile because you could see it in your cheeks. This is one of the things that's so important. I tell people you can try to fake a smile if you think you can, but it's usually you can see a genuine smile. You can see those cheeks come up and you can see it in their person's eyes, their mouth, their whole face. She lights up. And for some reason, she's just like one of those people that is always happy. Or maybe it's just when she's around me, she's that happy. That's what I'm thinking. So what I want to do is I would like Victoria to kind of introduce herself. Let me see if I got everything set for you here, Victoria. So tell us who you are, why we should know you. What do you kind of do? Give us the short version because we got a whole hour to talk. All right. So Victoria, it's on to you.
Thanks for having me, Marty. This is awesome. My name's Vic Katz. I'm Victoria Katz. I work for the Lake Zurich Area Chamber of Commerce. I've been there for about 3 years. Almost was my third season.
Your third season, yes. With more to come, yes.
With more to come, yeah. And I'm the member services manager.
Okay.
I focus primarily on all the events that we bring to the community and the small business.
And you do a great job with those events. I want to let you know that. But there's some more. You work, one of the other things that surprised me was I bumped into you at the Veterans Path of Hope.
Yes.
Path of Hope, yes. And how long have you been with them, helping them out?
I started working with them, I want to say it was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was an assistant events coordinator. That was my first official events job.
That's cool. That's cool. So, all right. So we talked a little bit in the green room, which is not painted green. I don't know why we call ours the green room. But anyway, we talked a little bit about you had a company you were running it was your company. And then COVID came. And COVID was like that great eraser. It just like washed people away. It changed things. I should say, I'm not talking about people. I'm talking more about the businesses. It changed business. The way people did business, I think it cleaned house a lot. One of the things I see that it changed was how many people were parts of organizations and groups and clubs that COVID gave them a reason, finally an excuse to like quit those things because they had to stay home. And then you just see over time, everyone's got to rebuild. So how did COVID affect you and your business? Tell us about what your business was, okay? And tell us a little bit about how it affected you.
So the business was Expector. It was Expector Survival Gear. We manufactured survival archery equipment. So I made these really cool compact takedown survival bows. It was awesome. My dad had started it back in 2010.
Okay. So it was
and
a
I
while,
took it over in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was great. We were international. We sold overseas. Sold to catalogs. Had dealers across the country, and sold online. Did trade shows. It was really cool. It was people I met were amazing. But unfortunately, COVID hit. My sales rocketed, and then my supply chain died.
Really? It
It just ended. I couldn't. So all my parts were all my equipment and materials were purchased in the United States
Okay.
from U.S. manufacturers.
All right.
But unfortunately, the raw material came from
Sure.
overseas,
Of
and
course.
that ended. And now I'm like, what do I do?
Right. Because there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, the raw material, if it's coming from overseas, it's coming from overseas.
Yeah, and they said they wouldn't even get it back till the beginning of 2024.
Wow.
So I was like, well, okay, we got to find something else.
I want to make sure. I'm just going to give you some. I want you to make sure you stay close to the mic. All right,
Oh,
because I don't want you to come in and out like this, because this is good stuff. Let me ask you, so what happened to some of those people who were manufacturing the parts for you then? Were a lot of them going out of business as well?
no, they were. So the primary product that I was using was a polyglass fiberglass
Okay.
material for
Yeah.
limbs, and they manufactured other materials as
Okay.
well.
Gotcha.
So that one particular type of
Gotcha.
material
Yeah.
was unable to be produced.
Wow. All
So
right.
that
Well,
kind of
that's too bad.
stunk.
Do you have dreams of bringing it back someday?
I would if I had. I'd have to start from scratch. I'd have to have all that, startup money
Oh,
and the
yeah,
seed money, and I've got
exactly.
a
Yeah.
huge vision for it, but you know what? I really have found my love and calling for events and event management.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna share a cool quote with this. That's gonna lead into what you do and what you're all about. And I've mentioned it on the show before, in fact, multiple times. But I love it so much. It's an old Chinese proverb, okay, and it's about if you want to be happy for an hour, take a nap. If you want to be happy for a day, go fishing. If you want to be happy for a year, win some money or inherit some money. But if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, be in service of other people. In other words, go help other people. And this is exactly what you do. You are not only a helper, let's say, you're a helper of helpers. You help people who help people, right?
I do.
So yeah, so I love this idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to see where the conversation takes us. But Vic, let's see if you've ever actually listened to the show. Okay, so there's something oh my God, she's shaking her head. No, she's not even lying to me. Anyway, so we do something special in the show, and the reason the show is called Bacon Bits with Master Happiness is we add a little bacon to the conversation. All right. Because everything bacon touches becomes just a little bit better, right?
Agreed.
But we're not talking about the bacon for chewing. We're talking about the bacon for doing. Okay. So bacon is an acronym. And I've got kind of an acronym here, BACON, about being that type of a helper. All right. And this is what we're using, is kind of a loose outline that we're going to talk about. And then I hope you share some stories, some wins and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about why people should get involved in helping, the joy that you receive. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So we'll see where it goes. So anyway, the bacon we're going to talk about is this. B is be present. Okay. Be right there in the moment. Don't be thinking about the future. Don't regret the past. Be present. A is advocate. You work for people, you find people, you stand up for people that can't stand up for themselves. C is contribute. All right. Everyone has something to give, whether it's time, money, energy, whatever it is. So all of us should contribute. O is offer kindness. It should always start with kindness. It should come from a good place. It's not, I'm doing this so you'll pay me. I'm doing this so I get a pat on the back. And then finally is N is nurture connections. All right. It's so important to surround ourselves with good people so we can connect people. And when somebody needs someone, you can go, I think I know somebody who can help out. All right.
Doing that.
There you go. I know you do. I know you do. So this first part, let's get into this and we'll talk about a little bit of being present, showing up for the cause, finding those things, and just when you're there, giving it your all. Okay. So how do you do that? How do you start doing that? Because you had a company you were running, and then you jumped into this, and now you do things like I said for the veterans, and now for the Chamber of Commerce. So how do you make that leap, and how happy are you? All right. So
Well, prior to jumping ship from manufacturing
yeah,
into events, I was already working on organizing small events. I loved it. I've loved it since I was a kid, like planning ideas and
cool.
coming up with parties, stuff like that. Um, and uh, I come from a long line of veterans. Uh,
Okay.
Families go back to Civil War veterans, and so when I came across I started hanging out at the American Legions a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
I love
Uh-huh.
them, and I was pretty active in it for a while, and I became the committee chairman
Good
um,
for you.
for the Legion, the Young Legion
Okay. Okay.
Legionnaires
The
and
Legionnaires. Okay.
the auxiliary.
Okay.
And I just liked that, and that led me to meeting people that were associated with Veterans Path to Hope.
Okay.
And I met my great team leader, Jennifer Kipp, was there to help give me the chance to go ahead and start planning things. And one of the very first things that she did was doing a motorcycle run that she needed help with.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I still work on with them is
Okay.
planning their motorcycle run.
Gotcha.
And it just brings me so much joy to see everybody come together at an event and just experience it and enjoy it and be there, and it goes off smooth. And I like to be busy
Yes,
during
yes.
those events. It keeps me present and enjoying the whole
Right.
situation. Um, I don't know,
When
it's
is
just
when is
awesome.
now did the bike run finish already this year, or when is it?
Oh, it's coming up. It's on June 28th.
June 12th. So it's really right around the corner.
Yes.
How do people get involved in that? Or is it booked up, or what do you do?
No, no. You can follow us on Facebook. VPH also has it listed under their events on their
So
website.
VPH is Veterans Path of Hope, right?
Yep,
So what's
veteranspathtohope.org.
that? Or okay.
Or you can find it on Facebook. I think it's the Veterans Path to Hope Motorcycle Run. And you can just go on there, say you're interested, follow the event, and you'll see details. We're still posting. We're just finalizing some of our vendors.
Okay.
Um, we could always use sponsors.
Sure, sure. There you go. I like that. Go
That
ahead, make a plug. Go for it. Yeah.
That's it. It starts at 11 a.m. at the McHenry VFW.
Okay.
We leave at 11 a.m. Registration begins at 9. You come in early. You see some vendors. We have some speakers
Cool.
coming out. Uh, Great national anthem singer. She's been singing for us for 3 years.
Yeah.
Her name is Jordan.
Okay.
And then we leave. We go over to Hart Saloon in Hebron. And Hebron's really special for VPH because their transitional living home is in Hebron. So that's
Okay.
where they house their displaced veterans, those that they're bringing out of homelessness.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I can't tell you like amazing things that this organization does for our local veterans. So from there, then we stop, we hang out. They've got bands playing at Hearts. Then we take another nice country ride
Yeah.
over to Casey's Cabin in Spring Grove for the
Okay.
end party. We have a veterans group that is playing music for us.
Oh,
There'll
that's
be
just beautiful.
raffles, and it's just a lot of fun. And that starts at 2 o'clock. You don't have to go on the ride. You can just show up there and hang out and
Okay.
just have fun and get in on some raffles.
Well, I want to add something to you. You know, you had said you like being busy, and I have seen you at some events, and you're not kidding. You are just so busy. There's no sitting down, there's no resting. You must go through a pair of shoes for every event. The way you're running around doing stuff like that. And it's cool because like I said, you live up to this big smile. So when you're helping and doing stuff like that, it's got to make you feel so good to do this bike run for the veterans because you're really, really helping people that need it, right?
Yes.
So it's so for the Chamber of Commerce, nothing against them, but you help with a car show and stuff, and it's a lot of exposure and it gets people together. It's a great community event. But there's a difference when you're working with a charity, that you can see you're absolutely helping somebody in particular, right?
It Yes and no. It's
I'm
two
not
different
gonna have you
things. Yeah.
say one's better than the other. Don't worry, I'm
No,
not
no,
trying to
but
do
it
that.
does. It really pulls on your heart, and it just fills you with this joy and this happiness that you just know that regardless of like the little hiccups you get along the
Sure, sure.
way of planning an event, um, you just know at the end of the day you made an impact.
Yes.
You made that day an experience, not just for those that are attending, but
Right,
the
right.
outcome was it definitely is impactful to the veterans that we're working with.
Yeah, I got lucky because somebody connected me with the Veterans Path of Hope, and I just am like their auctioneer at their
Yes.
gala. And I'll tell you, it was really interesting. And the first time I did it, I walked up to him. I said, I was like, this really meant something to me. It like made me feel so good. Is if you need me, and I was kind of like, if you need me, give me a call, and I'm willing to help you out again, and that kind of thing. And so I did it a second time. I think this is my third time coming up, and it was really interesting because I talked to somebody. I said, hey, I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And it's funny. They're like, we want to thank you. I'm like, no, I'm thanking you. Right. And I said, so if you ever need anything, and he goes, Marty, you're a permanent fixture now. He goes, you volunteered. Now you're volunteering till you can't do it anymore. And I'm like, yeah, well, they're going to be dragging me in, if need be, because you're absolutely right. There's something so wonderful about it. When you see whatever you're doing, you're pulling that out of people, and you're getting that money, the resources that somebody really, really needs.
Yes.
And it's just so absolutely wonderful. And so I didn't mean, and I hope it doesn't come across this way when I was talking about the Chamber of Commerce, that it's kind of the same thing, because you guys do work with some charities with the Chamber of Commerce. I know at the end of the year, it's the Giving Tree. But throughout the year, do you have other charities that you work with in the chamber that you connect with? I know sometimes you worked with TOTS and stuff like that. So
There's a number of them. I believe there's the Ancient Oaks Foundation.
Yes.
There's TOTS, Save a Pet.
Yep. Okay.
So last year for our chili cook-off
Yes.
fundraiser,
Yes.
we always pick a charity to work with.
Right.
And all the proceeds go towards that. So we've done Bricks of Hope. That was my first year with that. And then we did Save a Pet last year.
Right.
And I'm not sure what we're doing this year, but we'll pick one of them.
And I can't remember the name of it. The Closet. Who's
Veterans Closet?
No, there's another one in Lake Zurich. Somebody I think it's connected to District 95. Wow.
There's the foundation. There's a D95 foundation.
Yes.
Too.
All right. So there's a lot. So you're doing that. I don't mean to put you on the spot because I can't remember it. There's probably people listening going, oh my God, I can't remember. I can't believe you can't remember. Anyway, so I love this too, because you get this opportunity to help so many other people. And it's interesting. When I started my business, and we talked about this, it was kind of funny. Here you were running a business, and COVID came along, and it switched for you to go and work with other people, right? And for me, I was working at a place, and I just got a text. It's Joni's Closet.
Joni's Closet. Yes.
That was good. That means somebody's listening. Awesome. So what was I going to say? So I was working in kind of pseudo corporate America, let's call it. And when COVID happened, that's when I switched careers, and that's when I started my business. And so my business, Master Happiness, is all about helping people find their inner joy, their inner bacon, right? And give them a reason to wake up every Monday morning. And I'll tell you, I've struggled through some of the years, right? But all in all, it's been the best years of my life, right? It has been the people that I've been able to help have been crazy wonderful. And what I find now is, as my business is becoming more successful, it's allowing me some additional time to help places, and so one of my official charities that I work for is TOTS, Therapeutic Daycare. I help with them. I help with Misericordia, the Veterans Path of Hope. I help the Rotary Club and stuff like this. Just all these kinds of places to just, give back. And I think that the energy you get of saying, I want to volunteer and give back, and you do those things without asking for a thank you. I want nothing in return. I just want to do this. I just want to enjoy this. I want to feel like my life had some meaning, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So we kind of strayed a little bit out of the B, which was be present. But I think it's important, and this, that when you're there at that moment, there might be things like, oh, next year we should do this, but sometimes you don't have enough time to think about next year. You're right there, right? I
Right.
see you're shaking your head. Yeah, yeah. Or you can't think back and regret and go, oh, we should have done this. You just have to be in it and do the best you can.
Right. It's super important during events that you are absolutely present and staying in the moment, not thinking about emotion. You
Yep.
kind of got to shut that off, and you just have to think about the steps of what has to happen, what has to take place. Um, so it's very important to be super present
Right, right.
during an event. Otherwise, things get forgotten.
Have you ever missed a step because of that? Like you got so caught up in it that you kind of like lost with your train of thought or something?
Yeah,
I
one
love
of my
I love
first
this.
bike runs that I did I work with a charity, called the Dystonia Medical Research
Okay.
Foundation. I do organize that motorcycle run as well, and that's for, the riding group that I belong to,
Okay.
motorcycle riding group,
Now
and,
I can't join you with my 10 speed.
it'd be a little slow. We'd have to get a little motor on there
All right.
somehow.
Okay.
We'll pull you along.
All right.
You just steer.
That
And
sounds safe. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so with the first one, you get so excited. It was the very first one, and you're so excited, and you kind of you don't pay attention if you don't pay attention to like timing,
Uh-huh.
that's super important. The next thing you know, that now your next stop is
Oh,
late,
yeah.
and you're coming back, or you didn't plan well enough on how many volunteers you need
Yep.
to set up all the raffle baskets, and people are scrambling and it looks unorganized. And
Yes.
you never want that. You
No,
want
no.
people to,
Uh-huh.
especially on a motorcycle run, you want them just to walk in and this has to be the best day.
Yes.
That way they'll consider coming back. It has to be super safe, obviously. You're
Right,
around
right.
two wheels with 100 motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to plan for all the scenarios. You have to contact police. You have to, so you have to, you can't, you have to be present.
Right, right.
There's no way around that one.
Okay. All right. So good. I'm glad you didn't have any real bad snafus. No,
No, I've
no
never.
horror stories like
No,
that.
I haven't had any horror stories other than just the first run was a little like, what are we doing at the end when they
Okay.
come pulling in?
I had and it's happened to me at a couple of times where I am doing a keynote address at a big uh foundation or fundraiser or something like that. And being the auctioneer is kind of is more fun because I'm yelling at people, I'm screaming, I'm waving people, and it's a lot of energy. But to give the motivational speech, the beginning, the keynote address, there has been times that I start losing it. Like I can feel myself crying, or I can feel my throat is cracking and stuff like that because I'm like, I need a moment, like and you got to pull back and you have to suck that in because you have to say, it's one thing I can feel this, but the reason I'm giving this presentation is I need those people who are listening to feel this,
Yeah.
and it's you have a message to share. And so that's probably the closest I get is that when I'm giving those kind of presentations, I really want to put something into it and just really you know, give them something to think about. I'm going to be doing something later this year. I'm really excited about it. It's another place that collects food and that for the hungry, right? And so they asked me to kind of be a pseudo MC for their event. And what I'm going to be doing is actually interviewing the speakers. So as opposed to having the speakers just get up and give a presentation, because sometimes if you're not a professional speaker, you don't know what to talk about. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of interview them, keep them on track and that whole thing. And I can see myself listening to some stories and just going, I'm going to lose it again, but hopefully I won't. All right. So with this, we talked about being present a little bit. I want to talk about being an advocate. That's the A in bacon. It's the idea of the feeling you get for being the person to stand up for somebody who doesn't have enough, or you fighting for someone who can't fight for themselves. Okay. And that energy that you get. There has been times that I've helped out people like that, and I just find myself like standing taller, right? Suddenly I have this additional strength, and I'm kind of like, yeah, going, lead, help these people out. They need your help. It's that kind of thing. What kind of experience do you have with that? Like, whether it's joy or what kind of feelings go through when you're able to talk with people about that?
Um,
There,
not
I like
sure.
throwing you. That's all right. I'm throwing you. But think about it. Is like you talked a little bit about this idea when you're there and you see it's working. okay, and you just look and you're like, I had something to do with this. Not that you want to stand up and go, hello everyone, praise me. It's not that, but it's I was one small part, one little cog in this massive event, and I help bring it together. And look at these faces, look at these people, and the feelings that they're sharing, the good that I'm doing. So tell me a little bit about what's going on in your heart, in your head, when that kind of happens, when you're able to step back for a moment and just look at what you were able to help. I want you to dig in there. Come on, I want to see if I can get you to cry.
No crying. Then the mascara runs.
All right.
That's not a good thing. I feel like it's just joy.
Yes.
Anytime that you can help, whether it's a small business that's struggling with promoting or they're trying to work on an event, if I
Yes.
can help and offer suggestions
Yeah.
or solutions to their issues, that makes me feel just amazing as well. And I will always stand up for the smaller businesses in our
Yes.
community
There you go.
because they need that. You got all these big box stores and they have huge multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns.
Right.
And then you've got the little shop. For example, we just opened up a brand new business on Friday, Empowered Heroes Inclusive Therapy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, really, they, you know, that's an amazing type of organization. We have a couple of them in like the Lake Zurich area,
Exactly.
including TOTS.
Yes.
Their work is important,
Right.
and it's important that they're successful because you
Right.
can't get certain help like that through going to the regular doctor, especially if you're dealing with a special needs
Right.
family member.
Exactly.
So it's important that these small businesses succeed. And it could be the small insurance agent that's just getting started, but
Yep.
it's the florist across the
Yeah.
street.
Exactly.
A lot of these businesses that we work with are super well established, and it's awesome to watch them all work together as a community and then help one another out. So I like to advocate for the importance of shopping local and
Right.
and going in and supporting your local businesses versus running over to Kohl's and just picking up a gift.
Nothing against Kohl's.
No,
though, right,
nothing
right,
against
right.
Kohl's.
Yes, yeah, of
No.
course not. But I do agree with you that these large companies, like you said, have these $1 million marketing budgets, right? They can afford to make mistakes. A small company, like you were saying, you're going to start. If you started your company again, you got to come up with the startup costs and all that. And every penny you really, really have to watch, and everything's got to be so thought out sometimes. So it's great to have someone like you at the Chamber of Commerce that has lived through a lot of this, right? And have made mistakes, have gotten some wins under their belt. You can connect them with people, and it's great because you're helping those people. And one of the things that really drives home this idea where I'm saying you're a helper of helpers is a lot of these businesses, small businesses, don't even realize 100% in their head that every single one of them are helping other people. They're not just selling products or providing services. They're helping people. Like you said, insurance guys, they're providing that peace of mind to the community. The florist is providing that little piece of beauty that somebody can bring home. It's, that florist provides those flowers those husbands need to apologize with,
Yes,
right?
agreed.
There's all kinds of stuff like that. So every little place out there is doing something to help other people. And they struggle with this. They want to be successful with that. So they have someone like you to advocate for them to push them forward. Okay.
Well, and it's also important for the community that you live in, because
Yes.
how unfun would it be to just have big box stores and then you don't have these small personalities that make up, the sponsor for your kids' little league team.
Right.
The pizza place that, proudly displays all those photographs.
That's what I love. I really do love living in Lake Zurich, that area, because of just that. Because you see those things, the little plaques all over the place, and just the great sense of community.
And then they have all the festivals, Long Grove is known for them.
Yes.
It's just, you got all these great ways that the business community comes together to support the community, and then vice versa.
There you go. So we're going to take a momentary break because
Sure.
I want to say thank you to the people who do some stuff for our station and just talk about some of the other shows here. But don't go away. We still got some more time with Vic Katz. So please stay tuned.
Hi, this is Ronald Curtis Grace, host of the Ear Candy Emporium show right here on WRLR 98.3 The Life. Join us every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time. We'll share some great music, have a laugh or two, and get your weekend started on the right note. That's the Ear Candy Emporium show, the home of sweet musical treats. Every Friday afternoon from 4 to 6, right here on 98.3 The Life, and streaming live on WRLR.FM. See you then.
Hi, I'm Country Chuck. Tune into my show Mondays from 11 to 1. I play all the oldies from 50s to current hits here at 98.3 FM, The Life.
When you need services and support for your health, housing, education, and more, who can you call in Lake County? 211. It's a one-stop service that connects you to trained expert navigators who will guide you to the resources you need. It's a public service, it's confidential, and it's available 24/7. Call 211 or text your zip code to 898-211. Get connected. Get help. 211 from United Way of Lake County. This message is brought to you by UCC Environmental.
WRLR 98.3 FM LP, Round Lake Beach, Illinois.
And we are back. Thank you so much for staying tuned to 983thelife.com if you're listening on the web, or 98.3 FM if you're within our broadcasting area. You're listening to Bacon Bits with Master Happiness, and that's me, Marty Jalove. I forgot the name of my show again. I do that quite often. I'm excited because I have a special guest here, Vic Katz. I like the sound of that. I was calling you Victoria Katz because it sounded complete, but Vic Katz, it sounds like a superhero name.
Well,
It's as close to being a superhero as you can, right? And so what we're talking about is the joy that you get out of helping other people, but also the joy you get out of being a helper to those who help other people. It's really deep. So we're kind of touching today, and I had all kinds of notes, and we're never going to leave page 1, which I love because there's so much to talk about here. But we're talking about this idea of the bacon today is be present. 2 is be an advocate for those people who can't fight for themselves or speak loud enough for themselves. We're going to jump into this, and that is C is contribute. Everyone has the ability to contribute something. Everyone has the ability to be part of something. You can never say, I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, etc. When I was first starting my business, it was very difficult for me to say I can donate money. But I did say I can always make some time. All right, just a little bit of time, volunteer for something, work 15 minutes, a half an hour. There's all kinds of organizations that are always asking someone, can you give me an hour's worth of your time? Okay. And that turns into something more and more and more. And when you feel that joy of giving, it's contagious and it's addictive because then you want it all the time. So here's somebody who's like patient zero on on that, the joy from contribution. So what would you say if there was a group of people here? What would you say to them? Say, get up off your rears and get out there and volunteer. Go ahead, give that pitch. Let's hear what you got. And you're like, Marty, I am not the person to do the public speaking.
Yes, I'm not a super public speaker fan. By
the way, you are doing absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Nobody out there listening.
Nobody can see my red face.
They can't. They don't know you're terrified. All right. No, you're doing fantastic.
Thank
Go ahead.
you.
So what would you tell these people?
What
would you whisper in their ear if you're not going to shout it out?
Oh, you like you said, 15 minutes. That's sometimes all somebody needs, just to go and use the bathroom. Hey, can you just help out for like 5 minutes? And then they'll realize how awesome it feels to be a part and to be in service.
Yeah.
That the next thing you know, it's like, well, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go get a drink real quick. And they don't even realize that they have just spent half an hour donating their time and their service to an event or an activity. And you just have to find what stirs your heart.
I like the sound of that. Yeah. I like that a lot. And I think this is I'm gonna push this even further. Is people who they're like, I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, or I can't spread myself so thin. Okay, because there's like 1,000 places. It seems like every day I'm getting somebody knocking on my door. Marty, can you contribute to this? Marty, can you contribute to this? How do you give me your short version of how do you tell somebody it's okay? You don't have to give to everything, whether it's time or money, but give to something, someone. There you go. I just said it, and you're like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. But
Yes.
what's your way of saying that, or to helping people understand that everyone understands we all can't give to everything all the time, right?
No, you just have to, like, what stirs you inside?
Okay.
Where do you find your interests lie? My passions are motorcycles,
Okay.
art, um, music. I love all of that, especially when they all come together.
Yes.
That's just like the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
awesome. So if I can't say volunteer, I can't be at an event. I can promote it. Most people have social media.
Yep.
The very bare
I
minimum
like
that
that a
you could
lot.
do for somebody is share it, so that maybe somebody else who has a passion for, say, the motorcycle run, um, they can come out. They'll see it because they might not have seen it. Again,
Right.
with charities, or even the Chamber of Commerce, we have our reach of whatever 6,000 followers, but you may have an extra two,
I
and
like that.
you're sharing that out for people. It's
I
that's the easiest way to
I
contribute.
I like just that simple thing. If you have two other followers, if you can't do anything, maybe you can reach somebody who might be able to do more, right?
Right.
Just that simple thing. And I think it's, we've been talking a lot about charities and that kind of work, but it goes so much larger than this. And I think everyone has got to realize that, and it's not to make people sound selfish. So I want to make that clear. But when I have a job, I have a business, and I charge people money for what I do for them, right? And that's okay, because what I get back out of it is the joy of helping somebody, and I get money for it, right? We all need that money because I'm going to go to a store and spend that money on clothing. And these shirts aren't cheap. So I'm going to spend it on food. I'm going to spend it on my vehicle, all that kind of stuff. So we need that. But what if we can find those kinds of things, our jobs, our volunteer time, that we can get something really out of it? This is what I call that inner bacon, that thing that gets you excited, that makes you want to wake up in the morning. When I ask people, what's your bacon? What is that driving force? What is the thing that's going to happen Monday morning that Sunday night you're like, I can't even fall asleep because tomorrow I get to do this? And imagine if everybody just felt like, I can't go to sleep tonight because tomorrow morning I get to help other people. Okay. And no matter what you do for a living, that's really the answer.
Right.
Tomorrow morning, no matter what I do, if I'm a carpenter, tomorrow I get to help other people. If I'm an accountant, tomorrow I get to help other people. All right. If I'm a doctor, yes, of course, tomorrow I get to help other people. If I'm a volunteer for an organization, tomorrow I get to help other people. If we just take on that mindset, okay, that we have the ability to do that, and the feeling you get from doing that without a thank you, okay, is so enormous that you can't equate a dollar amount to that. Okay. And there, I'm hogging all your good lines. We were talking out in the green room. She gave me all this stuff, so I'm stealing all her lines here. So contribute. What's another way that you feel people can contribute, just in general? Even how can the average person help small businesses? How's that? I'm going to give you that. I this is one of the things I love doing, Vic, is I throw questions at my guests where they don't know what's coming their way, but I try to give you a little bit of time. So if you're in the Chamber of Commerce, right? And let's say somebody from the Lake Zurich area popped in, knocked on your door, and said, "Hey, you're the Chamber of Commerce. What can I do to help local businesses?" What would you say?
Visit them, spread the word about their small business.
Yeah,
Go in, have a conversation with the owner, because small businesses, typically the owner is
behind the
on
counter, right?
site.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're going to be there the next day, and just pop in and see what they have, what's going on in there, and be sure to tell your friends. It's so important that if you keep the more money we keep into our local communities that are spent at like small business, the more it benefits the community in general. I'm hitting
That's all right. That's all
microphones.
right. That mic's not on. You're okay.
So it's super important, and that's how we build these communities. And when your community is strong, then you're going to have safer families and safer places for your kids to go and run around. Like the sidewalk. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
saying.
Oh,
Like safe sidewalks. That
Okay.
way you're not afraid that your kids are going to be running up and down the stores, because now you have a connection. That person, that business owner,
Yes.
and that business owner knows you,
Right,
and now
right.
they've probably seen your kids, and now your friends come in with their kids,
Yeah.
and it's important that we have the connection in our community, and
Yes.
small business is a huge part of that.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. The C here in Bacon, I put contribute, but it could have been contribution creates communities. I use a lot of C's there because I love being part of this community in Lake Zurich. I love this area where almost everywhere I walk, people recognize me. I recognize people, and you're just able. Every day's a little bit brighter because you're seeing people. Hey, how you doing, Marty? Just that type of thing is wonderful, and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't step out and say and start visiting local businesses. And some people are like, oh, these small businesses, they're so much more expensive. And it's like, even if they are, okay, and I'm not gonna get into they're not that expensive, but let's say that's $5 more for this, $2 more for this. We're not talking a great deal of money, right? But the joy you get from helping that person, like you're saying, I'm able to talk to the owner. The thing that you're able to do is you're making somebody else's dream come true. You are keeping that money in the community, all right? And you're changing your entire community just by doing that. Just by saying, instead of me going to a big box store, I'm going to go shop local and find some things crafted by people in my area, or at least a family-owned business. If I want to go to a restaurant, I could go. There's all kinds of places. I mean, Lake Zurich, Long Grove, that whole area is loaded with some of the best restaurants. But that type of thing we want to do is we want to keep feeding that back into this area, as opposed to necessarily going to chains or something like that, where the money is going to somebody who lives, in another state or somewhere else completely. So I think contributing to that, our area, whatever you're doing, working with these businesses, helping the charities that are local to you, you're gonna thank yourself so much for what you're able to do.
Definitely.
All right. So far in the Bacon, we've been be present, advocate, contribute. Now O is offer kindness. Okay. Those small acts of kindness. Okay. I always like this whole idea of what I like is what I'll call covert kindness. Okay. And what I love about this is do good deeds and run away before they have time to thank you.
Right.
Okay, and I think that's the coolest thing. There's the pay forward when you're going through a drive-through somewhere, and I'm going to pay for the person behind me, and you give them the money and you just drive away because I don't need them to catch me to say thank you. I'll tell you, I have been thanked for doing nice things, but the feeling I get inside, like the giddiness of driving away and going, ha ha ha, now they don't even know who helped them. That type of thing is the coolest thing whatsoever.
Yes.
So what do you think about that? Tell me your theory. I'm throwing it right back at you about, I call it covert kindness. All right. Kindness. Yeah. In other words, where I'm going to be kind to people without them really realizing that I'm doing this. Suddenly they just like something good happened to me. Okay.
Okay. I try to be kind every day.
I'm sure you do. Right.
I think I just am that way naturally.
Let me ask you this. Do you park in, like your house, you have mailboxes on the street?
Yes.
All right. Do you park in front of the mailbox? Ever?
Oh, no.
Why?
Because, well, one, they're across the street.
Okay. Right.
But no, I wouldn't do that because I don't want to interfere. I don't want to take away from somebody's else's ease.
Okay, I love it. That's a perfect answer. This is excellent. I think this is one of these things that it's when you start saying, I'm going to park, and I'm just using it as an example. I'm going to park somewhere. I'm going to do something for my own pleasure, right? and it might cause someone else some distress, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's not that much distress I'm giving someone else. Versus the decisions we make, we might go, oh, if I just did this a little bit different, it would make someone else's life a little bit easier.
Right.
Okay. And I think it's cool. That's why I threw it at you. I wanted to see if you were really a good person. You're a great person, Vic. Okay. I didn't know there was going to be a test, right? Okay. But I love this idea of always start with kindness. All right.
Like Cinderella.
Wait, go ahead. Like
be courageous and kind.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Be courageous and kind.
Yeah.
All right. Okay,
I think there's more to it, but I don't know.
I gave you a moment there.
Yes.
All right. All right. But that's from Cinderella. Who said the fairy godmother told her that?
I think so. I couldn't, you know what? Don't quote me on that because
it's too late. You're on you're live. You're quoted. Everyone knows you now.
I have a sign of that in my hallway, right in front of my daughter's room. Be courageous and kind.
Okay. So. Which is both, because you know what? There's plenty of people, like we talked about. If you're going to help other people and you're going to be a good person to other people, sometimes it takes a lot of courage.
It does.
Okay. It's really easy to think about being kind, but to take the extra step to be that person and know that maybe you're going to get knocked down for it. Maybe you're going to be ridiculed for it. Anything like that. That takes a lot of courage to be the one who is going to help the person who can't help themselves.
It does. Yes.
Yeah. So, yes, it's very, very tough with that. So let's get this last one in here. The bacon is be present, advocate, contribute, offer kindness, and 5 is nurture connections. So I know the big smile on your face for that one. So how do you nurture connections? How do you do this? How do you make it happen?
Well, when you're having a conversation with somebody, you just listen, and sometimes they'll let you know in a roundabout way what they're in need of. Whether it's just like, oh, I'm looking for a doctor. Oh, I got a great doctor. Or,
okay.
Or this is where you can go to look for a good doctor. But the best is when it's somebody that they would never. They're desperately searching, and all of you are like, I got a guy.
Okay.
So I can hook you up with that. So and you do, and you send that over, and you make a connection. And when it pans out, that's also just this really great feeling. You never know who you're going to meet.
Right.
You just never do. So I love meeting new people. I love being able to network and connect people together and put people in, like the business after hours that we plan. So it's important that they're fun and they're lighthearted, and because that's when you're going to have your best networking, when you're relaxed, you're at ease. Same for any event. You just want the atmosphere to be calm and enjoyable.
Right.
So and that way people can meet and connect, and every event has that possibility.
I love that. And there's been a couple of different times I've been to some of the events that you've put together, and I've been asked write random questions or something like that to get icebreaker questions. And I have a series of questions that I really, there's a lot of power behind them. And I call them the oddball, off the wall, fun for all questions.
Oh,
okay. And it's just the fun stuff that you do. So I'm going to ask you one. This is like just, who knows? I might ask you more. But one of my favorites is out of all the TV shows and movies you've ever seen, right? There are homes in a lot of these, right? All different types of homes. What is a house or a home in one of those that you would love to be living in? Think of that. And it could be anything.
My favorite type of home?
Yeah. In a movie or a TV show, something like that you've seen, like it's their home, like Gilligan's Island, that old show. Did you want to be living in a hut on an island, which doesn't sound so bad because their islands seem pretty nice,
Yeah, it does.
But what's it?
Some
people say the Seinfeld apartment or the Friends apartments.
I did enjoy watching Yellowstone, and I really loved the ranch.
How can you not love that ranch, right?
That was awesome.
That was really nice. And because here would be the only thing that I would have a negative with that is because the ranch is so big, you're so far away from people. I'm a people person. I want to be around people.
Well, then you need like a city apartment.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I've watched too many shows that have like cityscapes and
Okay.
with apartments. But yeah, you'd have to have both. You have a little bit of country and a little bit of city.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
See, so that kind of a question, the reason I love these kinds of questions is because we can relate to it because we all live somewhere, right? When we talk about business or business tactics or something like that, some people have to try too hard to think about it, and they don't necessarily have an answer. But when you ask them something simple like that, you might say, of all the movies and TV shows you've got with all the really cool cars, which vehicle would you most want to drive? Right? I'll let you think about that. But that idea of the home that you would pick immediately tells me something more about you, right? About the type of person you are. You didn't say, I want to live in, like I said, the Seinfeld apartment or something like that. Or I want to live in the Simpsons home. Okay. But it tells me something about it that you love the lavish country living. So although it's rich, it's still casual living, right? And
Yes.
so it tells me something a little bit more about you. The fact that you love the motorcycle run tells me more about you. Those kinds of questions are harmless questions, but if you're really paying attention, like you talked earlier about being a good listener, if you're able to do that, that creates a whole different connection in the conversation. And when we're talking about nurturing connections, not everyone wants to just talk about their business. Okay, this is what I do for a living. And you listen, you're like, okay, blah, blah, blah. That's what you do for a living. This is what I do for a living. I'm not interested in what you do for a living. I'm not interested in what you do for a living. There's no human connection. But these other kinds of questions make us all human again. Okay.
Right.
So here's the question. So do you drink coffee?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Oh, you did.
I did.
All right. You gave it up. I won't ask you why, but when you drank coffee, what was your favorite type of coffee drink? Like, how did you like your coffee?
Oh, I liked a nice breakfast coffee
Yeah.
with a little bit of caramel oat milk.
Nice. Caramel or caramel oat milk.
Yes.
I love it. Mine black. I like black coffee.
That's too bitter.
No, that's it.
I drink my tea black though. My
Okay.
daughter's always like, "How can you drink this?" Like it's very tasty. I
Yeah.
like
Well, it
it.
depends. Is it
All the
just
teas.
plain tea
Yeah.
or
Oh,
okay?
well, it's all the flavors.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Earl Grey or
Okay.
English breakfast,
Okay.
chai tea, Thai
See,
tea.
so notice how it's so easy for us to talk about coffee or tea or something
Yes.
like that. And this is cool because there's the follow-up questions are so easy for that. Just for me to say, what made you quit drinking coffee? Why tea? Because it can't be the caffeine, because there's a lot of caffeine in tea as well.
What was the
Yeah.
sugar in the coffee? Because I
Oh,
couldn't
there you
drink the
go.
sugar.
Nice,
I couldn't
nice.
drink the coffee without the sugar.
And you couldn't just go to black because it's too bitter. I like that.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So what I like is those kinds of questions, and you think about anything and everything, and they will always, if you're really paying attention, will lead you back to where you want to go with the conversation.
Yes.
And think about these networking events. There are so many real estate agents and insurance salespeople, right? A lot of that.
There's a
right?
lot.
Yeah.
A lot of bankers too.
Yes, there you go. So you walk up to somebody and you go, "So what do you do?" "I'm a real estate agent." You're like, "All right, I just talked to 3 other real estate agents. Like, I don't know what to talk to you about."
Yes.
It's tough. But if you talk about something odd like this, like who's your favorite Bond villain? Okay.
Yes.
Something like that. It just then gets everyone talking like
Yes.
humans.
Yes.
Okay. And it's really cool because then from there, it's always like, why? Why that person? What about this person? Oh, I forgot about that person. Right. And it starts a real genuine conversation. That's where you get people pulled in. Very few times when you're talking about your business, do a lot of people gather around, tell me more about this, I should give you money, right? That doesn't happen. So we have to start with that. Those are great icebreaker questions, is
That
just
is
to think
great.
about anything and everything, but they should be, I call it also purposeful small talk. Okay. Because there's a reason behind those questions. They're going to lead me in the direction I want to go in. They're not just simple questions. I was coaching somebody on this and they go, "All right, I got one. Do you like pizza?" And I was like, no. You got to go bigger. You have to say, on pizza, what's your favorite ingredients?
Yes.
Right. And then you can also say, and what's the one ingredient on pizza that you would never eat? So go ahead. What about pizza? What's your favorite pizza ingredient? And what's the thing on pizza that would make you go, "I'm not eating this"?
I like all pizza.
Okay. Same here. Same here.
Like all the ingredients that go on pizza. Uh, I don't think that there's anything on a pizza that I would frown away from.
The only pizza that I had that I would say that I kind of frowned away from a little bit was the barbecue and chicken, like the barbecue sauce and
Oh,
chicken. I was just kind of like, just I like
yeah,
barbecue sauce, but it just didn't fit right. And I like tomato sauce. So I think that's it.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I do too.
So, all right. So we're wrapping up. We're almost to the end here. This has been an absolutely fantastic conversation. I appreciate you being here. Let me ask you, out of everything we talked about today, if you were to wrap it all up and say to somebody, here's the 1, 2, or 3 things you should remember about today, like the big takeaway, what do you think it would be?
To not be afraid to
I love it.
go out and pursue your dreams, whether that's volunteering or changing your career. Because when you wake up in the morning and it doesn't feel like you have to go to work and it's not a drag, your life changes
Yes.
completely.
Yes. Okay.
The
That's it.
hardest part of my day is trying to figure out what I'm wearing. That's it. And after that, it's all just super easy. And I love my job. I love everything that I do. It's a pleasure to work with Claire and all of the members of the chamber that I've been meeting over the last few years. It's been very uplifting. All the
Okay.
members they all bring something to the table.
Yes, yes, I would agree with you. All right, so that's cool. I love this idea that you found your bacon. Okay, so that's the whole idea. You found that thing that puts the giddy in your giddy up and go.
It's
Right.
good.
All
Yes.
right.
Thank
So
you.
so I love this, and I'm going to echo what you said. I encourage people to sit back and question themselves. Do you love what you're doing? Do you wake up in the morning and go, I can't wait to get started? Understanding that not every day is going to be perfect. Okay. I've also often talked about you are either eating, heating, or cheating. Okay. In other words, you're eating the bacon, which is exactly what you want to be doing. You're heating the bacon. It's the work you have to do in order to get to the bacon, or you're cheating. In other words, you're wasting time. You're cheating yourself out of the glory of the bacon. When you're cheating, you're not even heating and you're not eating. You'll never get that bacon if you don't get up and go. So sometimes we have to do things we don't like to do in order to get to where we want to be. Right.
Truth.
So this has been awesome. We're gonna wind this up. Next week, I have my boys coming in, and we're gonna be talking about, I think it's the 6th episode already, on the legends of sales, where we talk about some of the legendary salespeople from all time. You're talking about the Wolf of Wall Street, Mr. Beast, Mary Kay Ash, all the way back to Socrates and Aristotle. All these people who influenced sales and marketing throughout history. And it's all part of the book I published, which is called The Legends of Sales. So tune in next week, Monday. But more importantly, I want to say thank you again to Vic Katz. That's such a cool superhero name. All right. But Vic, thank you so much. I loved how we were echoing each other on the joy you get out of being a helper. Right. And so again, where we can find you on LinkedIn, right?
Right.
And I'm saying, so it's Victoria Katz, Katz, right?
Right.
And
Correct.
but currently you're with the Lake Zurich Area Chamber of Commerce, which is what's the website?
LZACC.com, Lake
Oh,
Zurich Area Chamber of Commerce. It's just all the first
all the first letters. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And of course, you're on Facebook
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So beautiful. So thank you so much. Tune in later in the week. And the recording of today's show will be on Bacon Bits with Master Happiness anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks again, and stay sizzling.
When you need services
Thank
and
you.
support for your health, housing, education, and more, who can you call in Lake County? 211. It's a one-stop service that connects you to